Well, I figured I'd do another video on an as-found machine. In this case, a Victrola 50. Probably early. I haven't done the serial number, but it's 69,000 range. It's going to be 1922. And it's mahogany. And we see some issues here. We have some scrapes here. This is actually the downside when you have this upright holding it by the handle and you place it down. So you'll normally see little scrapes and dings on the sides like that. Now the catch looks in pretty good shape. Now, the first indication that there's probably trouble comes here. See if I can get the camera to focus in on that. You see how those screws holding down the corner protectors there don't quite look like they're lined up correctly? That's because they're not. Somebody at some point took those corners off, didn't keep track of which screw went where, and when they put them back together, got them a little cockeyed. In fact, everyone on the machine is like that. That's always fun to try to fix. But that's right there tells me that something happened, some reason why someone took it off. Now, it wasn't the refinish. Obviously, that finish is original. You can see it's not too bad on top and front. Little alligatoring, that's normal. However, when we look at the back, yeah. This one suffered the indignity of having the lid here flop all the way back without the lid stay on it. And they snapped off this piece here, whatever was under there, and they repaired it using whatever that is. And cobbler's nails, yeah, real nice. Seller forgot to tell me about this part. And you can see it cracked all the way down to here. Now, if this was a 1921, which does not have the internal wooden horns in there, this probably would have split off right about here, which is normal, what they do. And you'll see nails all over here holding it back together. And we're missing something. What could that be? Oh, yeah. There's no hinge. There we go. And look what they did to the holes back there. That's all split, coming apart. It really did some damage here. 69,877. Now, that lid is repairable. That is repairable despite the damage. Wood glue and clamps will fix that. This, on the other hand, would require essentially replacing the entire back panel. You'll never match the color. So this you'd be looking at a complete refinish on this machine. And that is something I just do not do. I don't care what condition an original finish is in, it stays original. I don't like to have to redo. I mean, look what they did here. They screwed down so far here on something, they actually split the wood. It's, you know, it's really a shame. And it wasn't too bad underneath even. I mean, we got some marks into there, but nothing terrible. This would have been a nice machine if somebody had taken a little more care with it. You can see here, we've got some normal alligatoring. That's common. You see that. Strangely enough, this is a one-piece board on here. Usually these are two-piece boards. You'll see like a little line in here. That'll be where the boards came together and they separated slightly with age. For some reason, they didn't do that with this. You don't usually see that. Even the back panel appears to be one solid board. Tone arm's all right. There's no terrible sins there. No one's tried to scrub anything off of it. We have a number 2 reproducer that, well, that needs everything. Oh, I guess it does. Let's see, what do we got? Okay, the isolator is completely shot. Springs look all right. And it might even be mostly oriented correctly, but oh, look at that. That's mold. That is cracked old rubber gaskets in there. That is totally shot. That has to be completely rebuilt, but that will not be a difficult job. Now, what on earth do we have here? That is a piece of paper stuffed into the horn elbow. I'm not sure why anybody would do that, because that completely eliminates the possibility of any sound vibrations getting down that tone arm. Essentially, somebody has stuck a sock in it. Only in this case, it's a rag in the elbow. I don't know why. That will remain a mystery. And we have, you see this has the half horn, half wood here, half metal. That is common. That was the second revision of this horn for late 21, early 22, or is it mid 22? I forget, somewhere in there. The handle's not too bad, although it is stuck on there. I wonder if this has a label. If it does, that came off surprisingly easy. Now, bear with me here while we lift that off. Oh, it does. It does. Okay. January 12th, 1922. Now, well, here we go. Usually, the dates on these patent stickers roughly correspond to the actual production of the machine within a few months. So they'll get it pretty close. So it's 1922, as I figured it was. We got some dirt under there. The motorboard's actually in pretty good shape. We have mold. Don't you just love mold? Smells so nice. Even out here with the wind, I could smell it. Yeah, somebody stored this in a damp closet or basement somewhere. You really see the damage there. They did a number on it. And I believe, well, that needs a little work in there. It's just noisy. No crank with it. I guess the crank got eaten somewhere along the line. They broke it, possibly lost it. But there's good parts here. And if I can find an empty case that somebody's turned into a liquor cabinet or something, I could probably use the hard parts here, the motor and the motorboard and all that, and to put it back together. That's about all this is going to be useful to me for, because look at that split. They literally took a whole chunk of wood out of there and put this piece of trim on the back. Couldn't even get it nice and flush. They just hammered it on there. I mean, that's amateur hour, folks. That's what you want to avoid when buying one of these machines. You know, I'd rather have one with no finish at all than to have this, because at least with no finish, you know, it's in one piece. Would maybe not look that great, but that's in 1922. What's left of it. Now I could make this machine play, and in fact I will. I am going to redo that motor. I am going to make this machine play again, and I'll probably stick it in my little workshop there and play records on it, test records on it. You know, there's not really much else I can do. Kind of like the zombie Victrola, you know, that I have in another video. It's just, you know, it's just a player. That's all. Not a cream puff. And I'm sure I have an extra hinge somewhere, though I'm pretty certain that's probably not going to reattach without quite a bit of work. And you really do need the lids on these machines. I mean, that horn, if you notice, I'm sorry. The lid, if you notice how that's shaped, that shape actually makes the lid part of the horn. So when you try to play one of these without the lid on it, or the lid all the way back, it just does not sound its best. Never will. Because it needs that. It needs that horn. This is like one big horn on these, why they sound the way they do. Looks like we got some clips there anyway. And you always see this. That's when people close the lid with the needle on the reproducer still pointing up. There it is. That's what happens. You see that on just about every one of these. But at least we got some good parts out of it. And you get to see some of the things you may run into when buying one of these, especially on eBay. Always ask questions if you have any. See, I didn't. The price on this wasn't really that bad. I never asked to see the back because I figured it's a 1922. It's got the wood horn back there, which reinforces it. Chances are it's good. Well, it wasn't. But I'm not going to lose. I have the parts. You know, that equals the value, more than equals the value of what I paid. So I'll come out okay with this. Plus, I'll be able to play it. But if you're like looking for the cream puff machine, you thought this was it, oh boy, would you be disappointed. I mean, it could be put back, yeah. Like I said, replacing that whole rear panel, it can be done, but that kind of work is expensive, and mahogany isn't the kind of wood. You'd need another machine. You'd need another machine with a good back panel you could pop out of there. Really, that's all you could really do with that. If you tried to use a mahogany from a wood store, wherever you get such things, you'd have to plane it down. You'd have to have access to a full wood shop. You know, a cabinet maker could do it, but you don't want to have to pay for that. Okay, there you go. Victrola 50, $69,877.